So this is our new wearable device that is given to everyone that sails with us. You get a new one every time you sail. It's about the size of, I'd say, a 50-cent piece or a silver dollar. And what it has on there is very basic information. It has your name, it has the sailing date and the ship, and that is the minimum amount of information that the Port Authority requires. So you actually wear it around your neck. It comes with a lanyard, and all of our staff have iPads. And actually, as you're walking by them, your medallion triggers the iPad and it pulls up your photo so they can see that it's you. Very cool getting on and off the ship, super easy. And there's a ton of other stuff that you can do with it as well. And we'll go into that a little bit. So I mentioned a little personalized, effortless, innovative, more of the vacation you want. You can see there's a girl there wearing hers in a bracelet. So there are other options that you can purchase on board. I have all of them and I just wear the lanyard. It's just easier. But the cool part about this is you can really customize your vacation. So I get on a ship and my favorite thing to do is sit out by the pool in one of those beautiful teak chairs with a big thick cushion. And years ago, you would place your book there and you say, I'm just going to get something to drink. Well, you come back, your book was gone, and someone you have no idea who they are is sitting in your chair. Well, not anymore. With the medallion and your smart device, you can order food and beverages right where you are. So the last time I cruised, which was last summer, I was in my beautiful teak chair with my little book. And I said, of course, the minute I sit down, I want something to drink and something to eat. So I pulled out my smartphone. I went into the Princess app and I ordered pizza and a beer. And about 10 minutes later, I see a waiter coming over and I said, oh, he's looking for me. His little iPad's trying to track where I am. Mm-hmm. Brought everything right to me. So it's pretty amazing.
Well, you had me at pizza.
Oh, well, we have the best pizza. I'm just saying. This gives you a really nice idea of a lot of the different things that you can do with it. So you can play games on there. You board the ship much faster, as I mentioned. We have the best Wi-Fi at sea now that we have Skylink on all of our vessels, which is super important. The one picture there, which is if you look at the center of the medallion and sort of a little bit to the right, you can see a girl there with stuff in her hands, kind of leaning against the cabin door. The medallion actually is recognized by a small iPad outside your cabin, and it will click your door open. So if anybody's like me and you're shopping or you're going somewhere and your hands are full, you don't have to put anything down and find your card or anything. It recognizes the medallion and opens your door. So in a nutshell, that's kind of how the medallion works. It's a pretty amazing device. And there's a lot of information on our site too. And also Sean can let you know how that works as well. Then I'm going to talk a little bit about our new ship. This is so exciting. So I've been with Princess now about 10 years, and this is actually a game changer for us. This is our biggest vessel, 4,300 guests, 29 bars and restaurants, which is just crazy. Before this, our largest vessel was 3,600. So this is a big jump. So we are now going to have our smallest vessel at 2,600 and then up to 4,300. The sister ship to the Sun, the Star, will be coming out in 2025. She will be identical, just a different name. So she is powered by liquefied natural gas. So this is something that we're really trying to do as far as being great for the environment. As you can imagine, how many ships are in the water and how much gas and stuff is floating around in the air. Most of the cruise lines are creating a lot of these vessels that are powered a different way because it's more eco-friendly. So this is something that is really cool for us. And it's a cleaner burning fuel, which I think is fantastic moving forward for all the lines that are taking this. So here's a shot of her. I get goosebumps when I look at her because she's just so different. I can't do a super huge deep dive because we'd be here all day. And just so you know, I was with one of my agents yesterday who just got off the ship, and I was over an hour at her desk while she was flipping through her phone showing me photos, and we didn't even get done. So there's so much to see. I'm waiting for my coworker to come off the ship so I have more photos. A lot of these are artist renderings and they're kind of beginning photos, but you at least get an idea of what she looks like. This is one of my favorites, and I just recently found this. So this is the dome, which is on the very top deck of the ship. And you can see there, my first reaction to this was, is that a pool? It's a pool. So it's a pool that actually has a retractable cover. So in the daytime, you have a pool there. And then in the nighttime, that cover goes back, and that's an actual stage. So here's a different angle where you can get an idea of how that covers and then where the stage is. And then you can see open glass. It's just absolutely spectacular. This is a look for the other direction. of the dome. You can see a bar in the back there and a lot of seating there. And then you notice that little circle on the floor, that's part of that stage. That is also the retractable pool. And here it is at night. So it just completely changes the whole look. One of the architects was saying that it reminded him of South Beach, which I think is really kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
This is also where they have our Captain Circle party, the welcome aboard cocktail party. So you can imagine it's very lively with a lot of music and sparkling lights and drinks flowing. It's just a beautiful place to gather. And then this is the sphere. So in the very center of the ship, where if you've cruised before, you have a piazza, which is where everybody kind of gathers. You get on board the ship and you enter this spectacular like lobby that's 3 or 4 stories high. And there's stuff going around all over the place. This is no different. It's just more spectacular. But around this, you've got bars, you've got restaurants, you've got all kinds of things going on. During the day, there is things going on the main floor of this, dancing, all kinds of different options, just like we do on our other ships. It's just more grandiose on this vessel. That screen there can be moved. It can also be changed to where the ship is. So for example, the ship's now in Europe. So there's probably a lot of Europe being shown on that screen. And then this is a different angle looking out of the sphere. You can see it's all glass. It almost looks like a big bubble on the side of the ship. So it's an all glass sphere, which has 3 decks of all kinds of stuff going on all the time. You can see the chairs you can sit in and have a lovely view out the windows. You can gather with friends, you can have cocktails, you can just sit and chill, whatever you'd like to do. There will be music playing, like if there's a live band, for example, playing on the first floor of this, it echoes through there as it does on all of our ships. And it's just so peaceful and wonderful. And then a lot of the pictures I'm going to show you are just a lot of public areas on board. Those people that love coffee, you have coffee currents here where you can get different kind of coffee drinks, just a place to kind of hang out and lounge around. One of our famous bars is Bellini's. This one on this ship is beautiful with all the open glass facing outside. There is a sushi bar on this ship. So those of you that like sushi, I had heard from one of my friends who I was just on board that it is phenomenal. I'm not a big sushi fan, but you know what? Everybody likes all different kinds of things. I'm a pizza girl, so pizza is fine for me. This, however, is one of my favorite spots, Crooner's Bar. I love the fact that they kept it almost kind of prohibition-y looking, you know, with the different lighting and stuff. And you kind of go in there and, you know, you just listen to piano. You almost want like Winston Churchill or something to walk in smoking a cigar. It's one of those atmospheres. Really a cool place to get together and hang out. Light music played in the background. They do all different kinds of stuff in a lot of these lounges. But this is a nice place that my friends and I like to go after dinner or before dinner and just have a cocktail. This is one of the, this is the main dining room, the Horizons dining room. So we have not had a dining room like this. You can see it's a 2-tier with almost a balcony as a 2nd tier with all glass facing out. This, the picture I saw on one of my agent's phone, this does not do it justice. She did a little panorama like a video thing. Absolutely gorgeous, just lovely. There's not a bad seat in here. And you can see the decor, very subdued, but you've got the kind of light strips going around the columns there. A really nice addition for a main dining room for us, adding that 2nd level. Again, one of my favorite, specialty restaurant, Crown Grill, probably the best steak I've ever had in my life. And they do this wonderfully horrifying thing with this loaf of bread where they stick butter and cheese in the center and bake it. And when you pull it out, the cheese and stuff oozes. I'm telling you, if you go to Crown Grill, you got to ask for the special bread because I could eat that all night. It is absolutely spectacular. Specialty dining does have a cover charge, but it is well worth it. This is like 5-star dining in a restaurant wherever you live. If you could look like a top type restaurant or dining in a 5-star hotel. And you do have to make reservations for the specialty. Zapatini's is another one that is our Italian restaurant, which is also specialty. It also has a cover charge. This I had probably one of the best plates of lasagna I've ever had in my life in here. And the Caesar salad was phenomenal as well. Highly recommend it. This is things I recommend you book ahead of time if you can in the Dine My Way app, because this is definitely something you want to do. If you're not celebrating something, like it's nobody's birthday or anything, who cares? Book it anyway. It's fantastic. You definitely want to treat yourself. You can do table for 2. Let's say you meet another couple on board, table for 4. Whatever you'd like to do, it's definitely worth the cover charge to have this type of dining. This is something that is completely new for us. And this is a public area called the VI Terrace on deck 8 in the aft. You can see the pool there that it's not, I know it's not plexiglass, but it's see-through. I have a horrifying fear of heights. You will not find me in that pool. It looks amazing. I'm just going to go by the photos because I will not be in that pool. And take a look why. There it is all the way on the left. No, it looks incredible. For those of you that don't have a fear of heights and can hang over the edge like that in a glass enclosed pool, go for it. It's not something that I would actually do. And then you have the Seaview Terrace, which is the top deck, a great place to hang out. You've also got the plexiglass there, so there's not a lot of wind, but you still get some sun. And then you can see there's a bar up there in the center.
So that was right.
The Lido Pool, which is on deck 17 and also has movies under the stars. For those of you that have experienced that, it's pretty cool. The last cruise I went on in May, one night they were doing the Bohemian Rhapsody movie, and myself and 6 of my friends, we were up there singing and more singing. It was so much fun. The cast interacts too. The people on board actually do the crew. They did Wizard of Oz too for the kids, and they came skipping through. You know, one of them dressed like Dorothy and stuff. It was really fun. If you like this type of thing, like seeing movies and sitting out, which I love, it's a great thing to catch while you're on our ship. My happy place, the Sanctuary. So this is an adults only area on board our ship. Very, very popular. You can buy day passes to go in here. Very relaxing, very calm. There's misters going on. There's very light, mellow music. I just feel my blood pressure go down when I go into this place. It's absolutely spectacular, beautiful. And it's bigger on our new ships because it is so popular. On the ships we have now, it sells out and people get upset because they can't get in. So on the new builds, we're making it larger. I'm going to go into a little bit on the staterooms because I think it's important to kind of see the layout. And also you can see the design, very modern. This is very different for us as far as modern. And I love the look of this. So this is a deluxe balcony, excuse me. And you can see there, it says reverse layout as well, which just means the flip, the bed and the couch are on the other side of the room. But you can see how nice it is. And look how much space there is between the bed and the wall. I've been on some lines where you kind of have to shimmy through there. Not with us. We definitely keep that in mind, and we keep people happy in the staterooms for sure. Here's a mini suite as well, which is lovely, very subdued colors, lovely.
That's nice.
And I hear that the closets are not just doors, they're actually frosted plexiglass or glass, which I think is a really nice touch. It just sort of elevates the amenities in the stateroom. The Reserve Collection cabana. So I really want to see this because it was very difficult for me to get my head around the whole cabana thing. So you put this slide in here, you can kind of see past the bed. If you see the little, it looks like railings on the right-hand side of the wall there, that's a little enclosed area. And then after that, you actually have a balcony. So I put in kind of an aerial shot so you can really see what I'm talking about. But the cabana there has a slider, so you could actually have a balcony that's quite a bit larger if you'd like, or you can keep that cabana slider closed. So I'm very curious to see these in person. It's difficult for me to speak about them because all I really have is this, but it looks like a very cool game changer for us as far as people that want that extra sitting area. So they're not sitting in their bedroom, like in the stateroom. They have a separate area to go, and then they have a balcony in addition.
Dana, I just got a video of that, and I can tell you that it was, and from most folks, and it looks amazing. And they were describing it more like, you know, that trend that we had our outdoor spaces, that we were kind of creating it as more of an indoor outdoor space.
Yeah.
And they said that's exactly what they did. They just made it, and they kept they kept it open, and they said it was fantastic. It was like double the size of the balcony. They were able to go back and forth, go out there and enjoy their cocktails. And even if it was raining, they were able to go out, and they absolutely loved it.
So when we go on the sun in October, we're going to go investigate these because I want to see these. So this is a different perspective. So you can see on the left, those are the balconies in the cabana cabins. So the cabana deck actually has a private area for only the cabana guests. Only they can come up and lounge around. So you've got, it looks like 2 staterooms there where they have their balcony there and then opening onto that cabana deck. It looks like also there's a hot tub as well and some areas to lounge around. So this looks quite lovely, I think, because it's just a nice little added extra. And it's not public. So a lot of people were very concerned that, you know, everybody was going to be walking. This is just for the cabana guests. So you can't have everybody, you know, walking through here in front of your balcony, which is nice. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about the shows because, again, I don't have a lot of information on them. So this is one of the shows, a very Cirque du Soleil type thing that is going on the Sun. Again, when I have more details on it, I will definitely pass that around. There is so much sort of coming in from Europe and from clients. You know, they're talking about stuff, and you can see it online as well. There's just a lot of hubbub around about the ship. So we also have something that I think is very cool for those of you that like magic. For example, we have Spellbound by Magic Castle. And see this here. I am not super familiar with this, but it sounds very, very cool. So you can see here the foyer going in. It's just kind of a really old time atmosphere, like an old mansion type house. There's magicians and all kinds of things going on here. It's evidently a collaboration with like a Hollywood movie set, as far as the look of it, like an old time movie set, which I think is nice. For some reason, it reminds me of like suites on ships of bygone days, you know, with a big fireplace area there. Just very, very cool. And here's a lounge area in there. So again, you've got that same feel going on there. Another bar area to hang out. And all of this is behind kind of a door. So when the ship was first announced, we kept seeing a slide, meaning Princess employees would see a slide that said, oh, we'll tell you what this is. And we're all like, what's with the weird door? Nope, we're not going to tell you. So somewhere on the ship is this door that takes you into Spellbound. So that's another thing that I need to adventure into, because this just looks amazing, almost like a speakeasy or something. Like I shouldn't be here, but I am here. One of those type of places, which I think looks really, really fun. And then they also will do in the theater there, they will do magic shows and all different kinds of things, which I find fascinating. I grew up on cruise ships. My parents loved to cruise, so we would watch all of that stuff. If you remember, the magician would get up there with a box that he split in two, you know, he'd make people disappear and all that kind of stuff. I loved all that. So I think this is going to be right up my alley, and it's something new for us and very innovative. And I think it's going to be super, super popular. And then we also have this, which is pretty amazing. Look at that. That's crazy. I think this is going to be another game changer for us. All of the different types of restaurants that we have going on board, starting on the Sun Princess. And then, of course, will probably be similar, if not the same, on the Star. But we'll also up our game on a lot of the rest of our fleet. We'll probably be changing a lot of different things that way as far as restaurants go. This is something I want to mention, and excuse me for picking up a piece of paper, but I inquired about this after I got this slide, because I said, well, do you have some kind of a sample? Well, of course, I got a sample at the 9th hour, so I couldn't really add it here, but I want to read you guys some of this. So with a surging demand for plant-based cuisine, Princess is introducing a series of creatively crafted vegan menus. And I'm just going to kind of go into a little things here. So starters, for example, black beans on toast with tomato and avocado, Baja-style cauliflower tacos, and then salad, green goddess salad with tofu, French potato salad with Dijon mustard and fine herbs, and then soups, creamy white bean soup, chickpea noodle, pastas, fettuccine with walnut sauce, penne with red pepper pesto. That sounds so good. And then mains, stir-fried portobellos with soy maple sauce, plant-based shepherd pie. So that just kind of gives you an idea. But I thought that was pretty impressive for something that we're just coming out with, to really hit all of the different dietary needs that people have. And a lot of people do want plant-based. Everybody's eating healthier. You know, gone are the days of every day of the week when you're in a hurry going to grab a Big Mac. I don't know anybody that does that anymore. And you don't want to do that when you're on a cruise ship. You want to enjoy the fine dining. So we have really stepped that up, which is really nice to see. Speaking of that, we have also stepped up our wine. So Carmen, our VP of sales, is a Caymus wine person. And I just spent a couple of days with her in my territory. And it was all about different types of Caymus and experience and all these things. And I'm not a wine connoisseur, but I could definitely taste the difference. And I know she's very responsible for getting Caymus on board. So we now have upped our wine menu as well, again, going along with the fine dining. So you have fine wines, you have fine dining on the new ship. The wine is also available fleet-wide. And then we'll talk a little bit about the Caribbean. Caribbean is one of my favorite places. It's just so pretty. So the reason people go to the Caribbean, you've got the island culture, you have the Mayan history in Mexico, you have the top rated beaches, and then of course you have the marine life. A lot of things you can't see anywhere other than the Caribbean. So that's kind of a cool thing for us. You also have Rhythm of the Caribbean, which is something that we do. We also do in Alaska. We have North to Alaska. For the Caribbean, we have Rhythm of the Caribbean. I experienced this several years ago when I did a Caribbean cruise on the Caribbean Princess. My big thing that I wanted to learn was the steel drums. I don't know if you've ever sat around and listened to people playing the steel drums. I just think it's the coolest sound ever. Let me tell you, it completely told me how uncoordinated I was when I tried to get up there in front of people, right, and play the steel drums. It lasted for 2 seconds. I looked up and went, everybody's looking at me. I'm out. Thanks. And I just disappeared. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. So it's a talent that I do not possess. But there was a lot of people doing it. So it was very cool. One of the cool things was Paris and the Piazza. So I find these colorful birds so spectacular. I knew nothing about them. I got down into the Piazza area, and there were, I believe, 6 or 8 parrots just sitting on perches around the Piazza. And there were several people there. Each person was with a parrot, and they were talking about their specific bird. One was 10 years old, another one was 80 years old, and it was all in between. And they were small, big, medium. I had no idea that, first of all, that these birds live this long. They were explaining to me the different types of parrots, which I really did not know. I found it fascinating. Before I knew it, I was there for an hour. And I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. You can't touch the birds, like in Alaska, where you can do puppies in the Piazza, where the puppy kind of sits with you on the floor. But listening about these birds was fascinating. So in addition to all of the things we do on board, where we bring the culture on board and the music and all of that, we also bring parrots on board. So you can learn about the parrots when you're on a Caribbean cruise. So very, very cool. Then I'm going to talk a little bit, and Sean's going to interject as well, about some of the groups that the Connected Traveler has with us. First, we have the Inaugural, which I think is so amazing. So Sean and I will be on the ship. It's a secret for a couple of days before this, but he will continue on the October 14th first voyage on the Sun Princess doing the Caribbean. This is something you want to get on. Just saying, the ship has been all over Europe. She's going to come over to the US, and this will be the first public sailing. So if you have an opportunity to do this, and you can take the time off or whatever it is, adjust your schedule, get on board with this. Definitely get on board with this. There's going to be all kinds of things going on that will only be going on in the inaugural season. And thankfully, we've got the Europe season that's happening, and that's kind of an inaugural as well. But come on, we do it way better than the Europeans. So the inaugural for the US when the ship gets here is going to be smashing. If you have the opportunity and can do it, definitely get on this one. And then there's also a holiday cruise. So those of you that have not cruised over the holidays, I want to do a Christmas cruise, just because they do like an ugly sweater and all of these things going on. Thanksgiving cruises, which this one is, the 7-day Western Caribbean, you get the traditional Thanksgiving meal. There's decorations all over the ship. There's a tailgate up by Movies Under the Stars with football on. There's all kinds of wonderful things happening. So it's not just Christmas or New Year's that we do stuff. We also do stuff for Thanksgiving. And I'm just going to say this out loud. You don't have to cook. Let me say that again. You don't have to cook. No turkey, no mess, no platters, no Aunt Susie and Uncle Betty or Uncle Joe coming over and doing all that. Get them on the ship. Do it all that way.
Then you can play beer pong between the courses.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly. I'm going to touch base a little bit on a Plus and Premier, which are our 2 bundles that we offer as well.
Dana, before you get there, let me ask a couple questions for you, just because I want to clarify a few things for folks as we're doing it. So you were talking about how there's over 29 restaurants on board the ship.
And bars. So that's a mixture.
And bars, yes. And the idea that, like, honestly, I know that it will be very difficult for us to try. I'm willing to go ahead and try to get them all done in this inaugural sailing, but I'm just saying it could be a little bit difficult. Yeah. If you have 2 people that need to do it, we are the 2 you want to bet on. I just want to put it out there. And for those of you who sailed with me, you know that's true. But talk about the restaurants. There's a few things. You talked, I believe on this one, there's over 3 restaurants that kind of have a steak specialty. You've got the new steak restaurant, you've got the Italian restaurant. There's also I believe there's also going to be a Chinese restaurant on board, as well as 2 or 3 places that actually will carry sushi. Am I right?
Yep.
And now there's casual, and with restaurant tiers, there's casual restaurants like the pub. which apparently has amazing fish and chips, is what I've heard. I have not tried it, but I'm looking forward to it. You
Mhm.
have the pub and you have the casual dining, as well as having the specialty dining.
Mhm.
And I just want to point out for folks, you know, the way that I price things and the way that when I talk to cruise lines and I'm negotiating packages with things, I see Callie down there and she can vouch for the idea that I try to make it so when we go, we have an all-inclusive price, meaning
Ah,
that we're not going to suddenly get there because I nothing is worse than when I get up and I come off the cruise ship. I'll never forget my uncle took his first cruise, and this was when I was like 7 years old, and he comes back and goes, "My bar bill was the same price as my cruise." And I went,
yeah.
and that got burned in my memory way back then. So ever since then, I try to make it. So the specialty restaurants,
Mhm.
a lot of times when you go, they cost more. Well, the
Mhm.
way I have this priced, not for you. So you end up having the way I have this priced, we on Thanksgiving week alone, we will have 3 specialty restaurants uh automatically free for all of us. So when you
Okay.
are looking at these things, you don't need to worry about all this stuff that you know for my folks that are used to traveling with me, I did that one price. It is not plus plus plus.
Perfect.
The other thing that's going to be kind of neat, I want to ask you some more about just about the ship in terms of um, the adults only areas.
Yes.
There's several adults only areas from what I understand.
Yes. There's a pool area. I'm not sure exactly where it is on the ship. There's, of course, the sanctuary. And then you also have areas that are like for suite guests that are, if they have kids, they're in there, but not. Yes, there are some areas that are adults only. Yeah. The
So my
majority of the
understanding is,
vessel is everyone.
yeah. So my understanding is that, and I had a colleague that was on this last sailing, and there were like 4 or 5 areas that were public that you could go to that were adults only, including an adults only pool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That sounds
He
about right. Yeah.
actually, the pictures I got back made it look like there were 2 adults only pools, and I can't vouch for that because there's a lot of
Oh,
pools on this ship.
yeah. Yes, there are.
It's not like this is not a normal ship where like that's the pool.
No.
No, every time you turn around, there's another damn pool. Okay, so I'm just
Yes.
letting you know,
Yes.
it's not that you drank too much. There really is that much water over there. And just as we're getting it, um, my understanding is there were also different shows and things that again were also adults only. So I just want to point that out for my sailors that like those adults only cruises. You're not going to be inundated where you can't get there with your family, where you're going to be inundated with kids. There's other areas that you can go to. At the same time, for my folks that have kids and that want to travel with them, hey, now you can do that. And what's neat about it is Princess's program is really good.
Yeah.
They have a really good program for those that are older, like teenagers, the
Mhm.
ones that you want to move out of your house because they know
Yeah.
everything, so they need to leave now, but then they get out there and then suddenly they come back home. Yeah. So, but the thing is, there's a lot of areas that we can all go to, and then you can kind of get back together if you want to or not. Now, my friend who was just on this last voyage, I think the last one was like 10 nights, I think, or 11. It was a
Mm-hmm.
longer one, was it not?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
He still did not get to all of the restaurants.
Yeah. I've heard that. Yeah.
Okay. And he never ate in the main dining room. And he said
Mm-hmm.
that was a mistake because his partner went to the main dining room on 2 meals and wanted to go back over and over. And that's weird to me because I've taken a lot of cruises and there's a lot of times I don't make it to the main dining room ever. Like I've never even seen it on one cruise line in particular that I'm thinking about. So it's just kind of neat. But that being said, know this as she starts going through the pricing and she starts talking about when she was going through this is extra, this is extra. Don't assume it is when you look at anything that I've been pricing. Because Callie, do I not try to make even on cruise lines where I can't make it all inclusive? Do I not make it all inclusive? So yeah. So
Absolute. Whoops. Buttons everywhere. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
As we get it. So you guys are gonna really enjoy that part. And the other thing is the way Princess does holidays. There's only one other cruise line that I will say, in my opinion, tries to do the holidays like that. And the difference is, and Princess to me, if you go to their webpage, they actually have 6 web pages devoted to holidays on Princess. So this is that Thanksgiving cruise that we have reserved. This is great. This is one where get the family, and when you see how I have this price, you're gonna go, oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's Yeah, it might be cheaper to take this cruise than to keep going to get all the meals. So there you are.
Well, you don't have to cook. You don't have to cook
Yeah,
at home or make your bed. That's where my head goes.
yeah, that's great. So
So I agree with you. I heard actually from the person I was with yesterday that they did not get to do all of the dining things. So they said, we have to sail again. We did not have the time to go experience everything. And I do my first meal, the first night when I'm on board is when I eat in the dining room. After that, game on. I'm trying to find all kinds of other places to go eat, but I want to at least experience the dining room once. If I'm traveling with a group, sometimes it's, on a week, we eat in there twice. We give everybody the freedom to kind of do what they want. You've got, buffets, you've got room service, you've got casual dining. You will not starve. You will not starve. There is food everywhere. Everywhere. Do you have more, or you want me to continue?
and you just said the room service. I want to point out I think we have that included in ours,
In the
in our
premiere?
pricing already. So you don't even
Yeah,
have to worry about the room service.
yeah, we're going to go over that too when we get to
Yep,
the premiere. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Okay, cool. So Plus and Premiere. So as we were just talking, the packaging that Sean does includes the Premiere, which is pretty much the most all-inclusive package you can get with us. And I'm just going to kind of go over it a little bit. So this is the Plus package, which is an option. You can see here, the basic packages, both Plus and Premiere, include the beverage package, the Wi-Fi package. This is for one device, the crew appreciation on this particular package. So this is our minimum package. You're also getting casual dining options, the premium desserts, the Ocean Now delivery, and the room service delivery, and a couple other things. When you bump it up and you go up to Premiere, which is what Sean does when he does his packaging, you can see how much more you get.
And this would be our package.
Yes. So you still have the premium beverage package, but you now have a higher level of alcohol. So there are a lot of people who like fine wine. They like their after dinner drinks or whatever it is that they like, where the Plus package only goes up to a certain dollar amount per drink. The Premier package goes higher than that. You also have the Wi-Fi for 4 devices. So some people have a phone, an iPad, a little iPhone watch, whatever that's called. So you can do all of those different devices. Again, the crew appreciation is included. In this, you also have, they're sort of glued out there. You have the specialty dining, which Sean was talking about, which is included with the premium. You have Princess Prizes, which is games that are played on board. You have a reserved seating for the show, which can be very nice. So you don't have to worry about rushing after you eat. Then you also have photo package. So this is really cool. And I say that this is pretty much the most all-inclusive that we offer because it really is. You're getting your premium desserts, which are outrageously good. And I'm so glad that they didn't put the fitness classes right under that because they used to have it like that. These are desserts that are in, if you remember those big fountain glasses that were glass and sort of funneled, where they put ice cream, whipped cream, Jimmy's, chocolate chips. It's oozing over the top. You can have 2 of those a day. I couldn't finish one. And I like sugar, but I could not finish
Challenge
one.
accepted.
Yeah, okay, you're on. You and I, good, okay. There was a little lady, she was about 5 feet tall, had both one in each hand, walking around every day. And I'm like, God bless her. Good grief, way too much for me.
And I just want to point out the Ocean Now delivery that she was talking about there. That's where because again, here they will deliver the food anywhere you are on the ship.
Yeah.
So I love that because you can be at the pool. I love that example. You're at the pool, you want a drink, you just hit it on your medallion, you order it there, and they come and bring it to you. And they'll also bring you your food and everything else. That's all included. You're not going to have another charge to have Ocean Now delivery. You're not going to have the charge for the room service or the Ocean Now.
Another thing that I
really casual dining, which is normally an upcharge. No, we have unlimited casual dining, so you don't have to worry about any of that.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome when you get this package, all of the different things you have included. That's why I put the included in the middle of this slide so that everybody would know that what you have done is you have included all of this. So people don't have to worry about that.
Has anyone ever gotten the photo package on a cruise? I mean,
actually,
yes,
someone, they get a photo on a formal night is what they've done. Yeah.
Well, you know what's weird? We did it one time, and one time it got included in something that we did, and then it was like, so then we realized, well, since it was included, every time we saw the little photo stand, we stopped. It was really funny. they were the best damn pictures that I have that we've ever had taken of us. So now it's like I'm telling you, once you get that photo package given to you one time, you're just gonna be like, because then you'll just stop every time, right? Because you're gonna be like, hey, they're taking a photo here, we'll just do it. And
Yeah.
it's so funny because then you get it back and you're like, wait a minute, I'm so glad, and then there's all these memories too that you don't really quite remember because
Right.
being in all those different places because you were so busy. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, look, there's those people again. Yeah. So it's kind
Yeah.
of fun. I
Oh,
was
so
really surprised
kind
by
because we're so busy and not so drunk. That's really kind. That's really kind.
it.
Nice. And the Ocean Now delivery. So another thing that I did when I was on board, and I tested it. I mean, first when we came out with the medallion and all that, a lot of us sailed and we were like, yeah, we're going to try this out. I was in a bar and I was hanging out with my coworkers. And I said, you know what? I want to order the little bracelet that my medallion can pop in. So I ran over to the medallion area and the line must have been 20 people deep. And I went back with my friends and I said, oh, I'm going to order it in the app. I'm going to see how that works. Well, sure enough, half an hour later, I see some guy coming around with a little bag. And I said, that's got to be my medallion thing. Sure enough, he brought it to me. Someone else ordered some suntan lotion. Again, they brought it over. So if the gift shops are open, you can order stuff from the gift shops and have it brought to you as well. I mean, you want to talk about luxury, you just kind of sit there and do your little either on your watch or you do it on a smart device. It's pretty awesome. I absolutely love that. So again, the reason I put the included on this slide is because this is how Sean has this priced, so that all of this is what you guys are getting with his pricing, which he's going to go over shortly. And then I also wanted to mention the military benefit. Excuse me. So this is something that I think is super important. Thank you to everybody for active, retired, and veterans. That's my dad there back in the 50s getting his first lieutenant bars. This is a thank you from us for your service. So you get up to $250 in onboard credit. It is an online verification process. It's pretty simple from my understanding. And once you're verified, that information gets attached to your captain circle number. So anytime you cruise with us, you go ahead and you get that benefit. We also have the stockholder benefit. So if you're a stockholder with Carnival Corporation, you have a minimum of 100 shares. That's an online process as well. And you get an onboard credit with that as well. So that's something to know as well. And then also
I
wanted
can vouch
to
for you on the military. I can vouch for you. It literally took 5 minutes for the guy to submit everything that needed to be done, and he got an email back pretty much right away. So
nice.
not an issue. Yeah.
Wonderful. We also with Virtuoso, which is part of a consortia that Sean and the agency belong to. With that, you get the complimentary specialty dining and a mini suite or higher for voyages 6 days or longer. So that's another benefit as well. We just stack the benefits. Just stack them, stack them, stack them. That's what I like. Stack them, stack them. We also have a promotion going on right now, which goes to the end of May, which is up to 35% off. And then on certain voyages, third and fourth guest free. So that's something that, you book the 2 cruises that Sean has or any of the other ones he has and you want to do more, get the catalog and book more. Absolutely. I'm not going to tell you to not book, 10 cruises a year. If I could do that many, I would. Trust me, I definitely would. So that's all I have. I'm going to unshare my screen so we can get back to our lovely little party here. There we are.
So listen, anybody have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself at this point. I'm going to throw up the slides here and just kind of walk you through. But if you have a question, certainly ask. But many, many, many of you know, you heard her say stack the benefits, right? A few of you are in the know about what that means because you've had me do that for you on a few other cruise lines. And you know how some cruise lines have cut back on us being able to do that? Princess has not. So what I like about Princess is, and this is why, I'm even looking at doing one of our charters next year on Princess, because one, they've stepped up their food game big time. The number of options that are out there and the new chefs and the amount that they're offering is really amazing. With the Virtuoso benefits that I'm able to give you with the process and then combining it with the premier pricing, you have an all-inclusive package. We don't have to worry about drinks. You don't have to worry about Wi-Fi. You don't have to worry about gratuities. You don't have to worry about, you're getting more than anything you've ever had in the past. So that's why I'm really looking at this. Now, just to give you an idea of how crazy the pricing is for that I was able to get on this. And again, any questions anybody has, feel free to just shout them out because we are more than happy to show you. But so the inaugural sailing, let me just give you an example. On the inaugural sailing, if you wanted to get a suite on the inaugural sailing, with my pricing, a suite on the inaugural sailing with my pricing is $1,499 per person. That's a suite. That is not a regular cabin. That's the suite.
That's so good.
If
So
you
good.
price that, you go to princess.com right now and price it, or you go to any travel agent out there, they're going to give you a price of $1,897 per person for the premier package. If you drop down and said, you know, I don't want the photos, I don't want this, I don't want that, and you actually decreased it, the plus package with the online pricing is $1,797. So per person. So the idea is it literally is insane that my price, and it doesn't come with any onboard credit. My pricing actually is less than what the plus package would be for the same thing online. It's what we would do. And then we also have our onboard credit, and that was for the suite. I actually am very excited for this inaugural sailing because when the prices came in, this is my price on a balcony. Our prices on balconies start at $1,159. Again, that includes the premier package. That's everything you've got to look at. Whereas online, that same package would cost you $1,698. Literally like
deal.
$500 difference in the pricing. We are pretty excited as to what we're able to include for this for you guys. But let's talk about Thanksgiving for a minute, because Thanksgiving week to me is just amazing. So again, looking at that Western Caribbean sailing for Thanksgiving week, it's $2,257 on the online pricing. We're over $200 cheaper, and this is for a suite. Again, for a suite, we're at $2,059. So it's just, I still can't believe what we were able to do on this with respect to the pricing on this. And this is the other, but I do love our balconies. And if you're looking for value, look at the balcony cabins.
Yeah.
$1,609 for us,
Wow.
including Premier. Your current, under the current sale that they're running, it would be $2,108. We're literally $500 cheaper.
Yeah.
And so imagine going Thanksgiving week, you're staying in the balcony, you've got everything, you've got some onboard credit, and everything's included, including your specialty restaurants and everything else. $1,600 a person. So again, it's a really good value. We have several, we don't just have these cruises, we have actually groups for several cruises on the new ships. Now, when I say the new ships, we are focusing on the Sun Princess and then the sister ship that is going to be coming out next year, the Star Princess. And then we are also, one of our charters next year is most probably going to be on Princess as well. And I've been talking to Dana about that. So to the extent anybody has any questions on any of the Princess stuff, just know, feel free. I mean, for the love of God, please feel free to unmute yourself, add yourself in. You have any comments, concerns, trials, tribulations, we're here. We can pour another drink and do therapy.
How many ice cream places were there?
How many ice cream places are there?
Yeah.
There was like 3 or 4 ice cream.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. So what we're going to do in that October sailing, we're going to walk around with a premium dessert and an ice cream cone. Is that what you guys are saying? To all the restaurants in 3 days that I'm on there, or 4 days, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I may need Betty Ford when we get done. That's it.
We're going to have fun.
Absolutely. Please, anybody have any questions? You can either unmute or you can shoot us a message. I'm trying to read through really quickly to see if we had any others in here. Oh my gosh, somebody actually plays, just so you know, somebody plays those drums that you are banned from.
The steel drums?
Yes.
I was banned from those. It was so embarrassing. So embarrassing. They're so pretty though. I can't play them.
Yeah, and I love the fact, yes, that's true. And just to answer a couple of questions, people are asking me, yes, if you have Carnival stock, you get a much better deal. So yeah, we get to apply that in there as well. We get to stack things here.
More onboard credit.
Oh yeah. See, I love that. We can totally stack all the offers. And that makes a big difference. And that's it. Anybody have anything? Nobody has any questions?
Sean, how much are people looking at for taxes and port fees?
Ooh, give me 1 second. I actually knew that until you asked me. It was very minimal. I stopped the share for a second so I can flip it over. think it was. It's not going to let me on the Zoom. I can shoot it over to you afterwards. But I think it was. I think it was. Do you remember what it was? I want to say it was like
I'm looking right here. So
240
Yeah,
AR.
it's usually like a couple hundred.
the October 14th,
No,
it looks
sorry,
like
the
it's
thing.
about
Oh, wait.
130 per person. And then the Thanksgiving, 153 per person, taxes, fees, and port expense.
Yeah, it's not. It's less than $200 on all of them. It was 130 and 153.
So something told me not to put that folder away.
I'm glad you
I
didn't.
kept it up.
Absolutely. Yeah, no. So I mean, again, we've got good things. And then not only that, what I love is then we do have some special outings for those folks that are in the group. We do have a couple of special shore excursions, as most of you will know. We like to plan those.
I think it sounds like you guys are going to have a blast. I may have to like you put a mustache and some sunglasses on and show up somewhere. Sounds like fun.
We do have folks join us quite a bit. Nobody have any questions, trials? Dana, you did apparently an amazing job. Either that or we put them all to sleep. I don't know which way
I
it
was going
went.
to say, please don't tell me you're all sleeping.
No.
No, we don't want
Not this
that.
one. Can't tell us until I put it up.
Yeah. What's that?
No, tell me wrapping it up and emails tomorrow.
Absolutely. So everybody knows I only missed this time the first couple of slides. As you all know, I am so good at hitting the record button.
Oh,
So I only missed the first two slides. But that was when Dana was giving background really and saying that, if there's water, Princess has a ship, basically. So but I got her right on that third one. We will post this up. I will send out the YouTube link to everybody so that way you can do it. If anybody has any questions, send carrier pigeons, smoke signals, text messages, whatever you want. We're happy to help in any way we can. If you have any questions about it, I am very, very much excited about the new ship. And and the sailing routes that Star Princess has next year that's what I really like. So I have my number over in the text message. I've just put my number over there in the chat in case anybody needs it. But feel free, we will put this up online. And then we also have an incentive. If anybody books within 7 days, they get another, and it's if they book a balcony, they get another $75 of on-board credit. And then if it's a suite, another $100 of on-board credit. So
again,
there you go.
Stack. Not only do you get to have fun traveling with you guys, it sounds just super fun, but you can stack all these benefits. I mean, you basically have an all-inclusive package, brand new ship, just so much. Can't stay home.
For those that are worried, I have folks on here that will vouch that once you get done traveling with us, as you're getting off the ship, they do give you a coupon for therapy. And it's good for 3 sessions. If you need more than that, I'm sorry, but that's all. The insurance only lets us give 3 sessions.
3 sessions, 3 days in a row?
Well, it might need an admission, okay? So
Power session.
All right. If nobody has anything, we're all good. We can we'll wrap up. And Christine, did you get your question answered on your vegan?
Yeah, I was gave hands up for that.
Good.
That's awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you all very much.
Thank
Have a
you.
great night.
Thank you guys for coming
Bye,
out.
Scott. Bye,
Bye-bye.
Scott.
Bye.
Love the crown, Scott.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I had to take mine off. It didn't fit.
All right.
It was hard.
Bye, guys.
But I mean, no one really knew. I didn't really need one. Everybody knew.
we do. We
My
do.
God.
Actually.
Bye, guys.
Right. Thanks, guys.
I